Okay, so needy streamer girl over whatever that's just called.
Have
She's
you
just
guys
like
seen
me for
Patrick
real, for real.
Bateman from American?
Like, okay, I was gonna play needy over streamer low turd blah 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 blah, but like it really was not my cup of tea.
Psycho? Of course you have, with all these TikTok Sigma edits of him, or a bunch of memes featuring him. But here's the definition of a literally meme.
Yeah, no, it's a when it comes to me side or yandere's, they might have justification, but it's really not that good of a justification to kill everybody and stuff like that. So it's just like, okay, and I care why. Mm.
Character for other men because of the desirable traits he has, which falls into the male fantasy: the success, the wealth and money, the women he gets, and most importantly the physically attractive features
Bruh.
of this young man, which ends up overshadowing all of his
Okay, though, but like my question is, smash or pass, Batman? Patrick. Lol. No, okay. My real question is, y'all see all them edits of like guys who would roast chicks or something, and then it'd be like Patrick Bateman, bam, 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 like showing like, oh yeah, he's good, even though Patrick Bateman is a delulu guy. Like, it's not really someone you should be idolizing. You shouldn't
negative
really be
features of his
idolizing anyone.
personality, as well as the murdering out of lust or from anger. Other popular examples within the media are protagonists like Walter White in Breaking Bad, Travis Bickle in Taxi Driver, and Joker from Joker. These are characters that are socially.
These are male yanderes. Except they don't have the love part. Never mind, they're just killers. Mm.
Outcasts or being reduced to wasted potential, who end up expressing their dissatisfaction about the world and finding fulfillment by doing so, while being morally questionable people. Now, of course, there are women variants of the literally me character archetype, targeting common struggles and insecurities women have, along with their desires, and it made me think about a certain character I've been seeing a lot around the internet. A black-haired girl with
Well, apparently she has two different designs. She's just like me for real, for real. No, I had watched this whole video about why this game is like both of y'all are in the wrong essentially because one person's like the manager or whatever who is her girlfriend or something. It's like the secret ending, his or her girlfriend. I don't know. Like you're the boyfriend managing her, something like that. I don't know how this goes.
fringe, dressed in a Japanese fashion subculture, along with her persona of a girl in holographic clothing with hair strands looking like DNA. I'm talking about Amachchan from the Japanese visual novel game Needy Streamer Overload. Although I wouldn't say Amachchan is targeted towards women or the female fantasy, it's more like the terminally online female fantasy. Cute girly looks with a touch of mental illness to be unique and an easy job like streaming. It makes all these wannabe
I paused right when he started saying wannabe VTubers because I was like, wait, what? Nah, because like I've been watching the agents streamer university how to become a good streamer, and you gotta make good content and post consistently X, Y, and Z. And I'm just like, bruh. So reacting to some of these videos, but like when I see VTubers that are like able to do it right away, I'm like, how they do it? How they do it? How they so good at marketing?
YouTubers and online femcels be like, oh, it's literally me. How the game works is that you play as Pichan, the unknown playable character used
VTuber. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't be like she's just like me for real. For I think she crazy.
for the player to self-insert. Your only characteristic is that you're dating Amachchan, and it's up for you to help Amachchan reach her goal of becoming the #1 online streamer as OMG Kawaii Angel. Great name. Now, considering
Bruh.
that Amachan has a codependency with your character, you basically maintain and control every
Bro,
aspect.
if y'all think I didn't like Misa, what makes you think I'm gonna like her? Because this girl is 10 times worse than Misa. This girl's like, oh my god, I need you for everything. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Of her life, telling her what to do as she struggles to make decisions for herself. You choose what streams she does, where to go, how to message her, what activities to do together. Ooh. With the
What?
game based on streaming, it creates a critique on the culture, showing a darker side to it. The parasocial relationship between streamers and viewers, the obsession over numbers, and attaching validation towards it and the people behind the character.
Okay, no, but y'all's okay. The reason why streamers are addicted to the numbers, for one, they want to get to affiliate, then they want to get to partner, then they want to get brand deals, then they want to get sponsored. That's the all the reasons to it. So like whenever people be like, oh, you just need to put your thing in the affiliate, I'm like, bro, well, first of all, I don't even got 3 hours for you. Second of all, this is like, bro, just because I got affiliate don't mean I'm gonna just start posting them ads right away, because like it's not like it's gonna really do much, my dudes.
They portray online. But we are mainly going to be discussing about the characters and how the fandom perceives them. So, I played this game, which is already more than what half the fandom has done, but in my opinion, this game is really boring. Like, the plot isn't interesting, which in return makes the gameplay of managing Amachchan unappealing to sit through, although I compliment the charm of the game with the visual aesthetic drawing influence from the pastel pink and blue colors of the Vaporwave style, along with the interface of old operating systems from the 80s and 90s. Both aesthetics which are commonly used by
Bro, this man does not like games. He is that type of dude who's just like, oh heck no, I don't like games. Shut up. He's like, shut up. These games are mids. I'm just like, bro ain't about that. He ain't about gassing up these indie people, man. He's just like, nah.
streamers on their live stream overlays, as well with complementing the writing. Not because of the quality, but because of how accurate it feels towards how people would act online, from the chats on the stream to texting the main character herself. Now, behind the cutesy and confident K-Angel persona, we have Amachchan, seemingly a cute looking girl in K clothing, which is usually a blouse along with a high waist skirt, giving the wearer a hyper feminine style along with being involved in consumerist culture in Japan, meaning collecting accessories, especially with popular Japanese franchises. A common example being characters from the Sanrio universe, like Karami.
Oh my god.
And then there's the
Everyone, wait, they have their own machine. That's crazy.
K culture, which is the complete opposite, following dark themes of mental illness, self-harm, drug use, and sex work, but use the hyper-feminine style to subvert expectations. Alternatively, they're also known as landmine women. It's an expression used for a girl that seems nice and looks physically attractive, but upon dating her, you find out that she's fucking insane, just like a
Imagine. Imagine you just trying to. You're like, oh my god, she's so cute, and then you realize, oh, you thought this was just a joke. No, I got trauma, and this that to the fourth degree.
Landmine, it can be hard to spot the danger since it's hidden. So when you do get closer to Amachchan, that's when the landmine explodes. Turns out she's an insecure adult otaku that has mental illnesses and plenty of issues. A much different envisionment of what otakus are stereotypically seen as. Cause I have trouble getting out of bed in the morning, I don't want to go out, I don't want to get a proper job, I'm scared of other people, adults piss me off, and I'm stupid, but I still want everyone to fawn over me. In a way, this game's making fun of people like Amachchan. You're stereotypically an adult otaku, basically a loser being obsessed with consuming Japanese media and staying inside all day. By doing so, you're developing a sense of rejection to the outside world and society, with normal aspects of human life such as having a job.
This is why I don't have a consistent schedule, because I'm like, nah, I'd rather go outside, touch my grass, as people be saying. I'd rather do this, that to the fourth degree. If people want to watch me stream, they can watch me stream. Yeah, a consistent schedule might help, but at the same time, it might not help. So it's just like, well, then. It's just like, you know what? If people want to watch me, they want to watch me. If they don't want to watch me, then they don't want to watch me. That's all there is to it, honestly.
Or socializing perceived as being scary. The perfect job for someone like that is something online, something that seems easy. So what is seemingly easier than being a streamer where you play games and watch videos all day?
Bro, it is not easy to grow. It's easy once like you probably have something, but it's not even that easy, my dude. Like it's probably easier than a 9 to 5, sure, but it's to get up where it's like, oh yeah, it's so easy. I mean, some people do it and some people don't. Like You could be at it for years and still not be successful. So it's like, it really all depends.
With the extra benefit of being paid more than most salary workers due to the parasocial relationship you make with a lonely audience, as they develop an unhealthy attachment and donate sums of money to you just to get that tiny bit of
Bro, someone was donating to Kai Cenat so they could get into Streamer University, right? And he wasn't reading her chat, and she was just like, you know what? Let me keep donating more money. And she's like, no, I don't have rent. I was just like, girl. She's like, I didn't even get to Streamer University. It's just because, girl, you. What do people say all the time? Donations are not required, but they're appreciated. But when you want to get a bag, an easy bag, and not even know, exactly, you be fumbling your own ways.
they're missing in their lives. So I found this bingo sheet listing out all of Amachchan's character traits, and I'm gonna go through them briefly to list out some of her issues, and you'll get the point, okay? Childhood trauma, has suicidal thoughts, doesn't go out as often, followers equals self-worth, substance abuse, needs a lot of attention and
Dang. That sounds like quite a few people. Dang, actually. Dang. That's kind of sad. Low key kind of sad, though. I'm not gonna lie.
reassurance at all time, and probably the worst one here, likes anime.
Okay.
Clearly has some mental disorders, but for comedic effect, it's laid out like a bingo sheet. Will I get bingo today, boys? Let's find out.
What the turd? What happened to Loves Anime? Fear being replaced. You didn't press that one. Likes anime. Oh my goodness. Wait, you didn't press all the other ones.
Shit, not today, boys. Not fucked up enough. Although, I'm like one more bad relationship to develop abandonment issues. At least I'll get a bingo when that happens. I was able to fill 5 slots in, which I thought was bad, until I looked up other people's bingo sheets, and holy shit, there's like 12 bingos on here. Well, for context, this is a kinning bingo, as you can see earlier from the title and bottom bar. For anyone that doesn't know what kinning is, it's where a person relates to a fictional character from the looks to the personality.
Oh, so that means you relate to every aspect of this character. Oh, that's not good. I think she was supposed to be a satire character, not one you're supposed to relate to. Ooh, that's rough. That's really rough.
To the issues, which leads to the point where the person develops some sort of deeper connection to the point where they feel like themselves are the character they're kinning. So we got a girl suffering from BPD, all these other mental issues, who is terminally online, which makes her much more vulnerable to be harmed on the internet than a regular person. The scenario becomes worse when the responsibility of content creation gets attached. The stress when it comes to maintaining relevance and growth, succumbing to the negative comments that stand out to you, and maintaining the relationships outside the internet. These issues become in-game stats to measure Amachchan's condition, and depending on the stats, an ending can occur based on them, along with any events that happen throughout your playthrough. Although, the endings are usually negative and relates towards the relationships either from her audience, with endings such as getting bored of a fan base, or running a cult with them, for example. Relationship with the character you play as, like where she breaks up with you, cucks you, like twice. Relationship towards herself, where she seeks validation from external sources or have mental breakdowns. And relationship with streaming, where she gives up on streaming out of stress or because she becomes a sex addict. Or with the only good ending out of the game, where she quit streaming to focus studying for her certification test. I mean, it's debatable if studying to be a 9-to-5 wage cuck is a satisfying lifestyle, but to each of their own. It's only until the secret ending where it's revealed that the character you play as, P-chan, is just an imaginary player she made up to cope with her loneliness and
yeah, I didn't want to say until he brought it up. Yeah, you're imaginary apparently, so you're not even real. So I wonder how that even works. That low-key makes no sense how Pichon works when wait, then how did she do the acts and everything? Wait, that leaves rooms to so many other questions.
need of validation. I feel like this ending is a message to the player and anyone like Amachchan. It's about moving on, because by leaving P-chan in this ending means that she overcomes her insecurities and pursues a better future for herself. Although this ending is a chore to unlock because you have to play through all 27 different endings,
Bruh.
which have their own unique requirements to unlock,
Oh,
and
heck
then
no.
you can play through the secret ending. So it's not a surprise if the average player completely misses out on watching the ending unfold, which means it's quite easy to miss the point of the game. Now, it's not a completely bad thing if you relate to Amachchan. It's thinking that being that type of self-destructive person is a good thing. But these girls having Amachchans in their profiles and kinning her have the wrong idea, because in a way they're romanticizing the
I don't think, like, yeah, relating to a character, that's fine, but at the same time, it's like, again, it's the idolization, or like not even wanting to improve yourself, or like, oh, like, I don't know, it's like kind of crazy because it's like you're not supposed to strive for this character. You see this character's downfall, and so it's like, oh, she's just like me for real, for real. I don't think you really want to be. She's just like her, for real. Cause like, the message of the story is to move away from this type of lifestyle. Essentially, just like, oh, she don't need the imaginary friend, and she's gonna get help or whatever. And then to be like, oh yeah, she's just like me for real, for real. I don't know. I don't know what y'all think about that.
mentally ill behavior of Amachchan and treat it like it's some quirky character trait. You shouldn't strive to be like her, nor should you try to idolize her. This type of attitude is pretty common in social media recently. It's called malingering. It's where you fake illnesses or harm yourself to get symptoms of those illnesses for personal gain. For this case, it's
I still can hate that. I hate that. As it's like, bro, like, why you need attention for like stuff that does not happen to you? Like, why? How does that help you at all? Like, bro, what?
for validation, because if you show your rare and unique condition, you stand out, which allows you to get more empathy and attention. There's this popular situation with the TikTok content creator called Ticks and Roses, who got exposed for faking Tourette syndrome, a neurological disorder that makes the user do repetitive movements or unwanted sounds that are hard to control, which are called tics for short. So Ticks and Roses content is basically raising awareness for Tourette syndrome by posting struggles of their daily life because
Ew.
of their constant tics. But in reality, these videos show an inaccurate representation of Tourette's, as well with using the platform to promote their business, profiting from merchandise based on the disorder.
Send me to Canada! Alright, so the first thing I notice is, yeah, this does scream very fake.
Videos and situations like this are frequent, especially with the increase of content covering mental illnesses online. Although it can raise awareness, it can also lead people into self-diagnosis due to simplification of the mental disorders they present. It's like
Yeah, I see people who be self-diagnosing all the time. They say they don't want to get actual diagnosis. I'm like, then don't self-diagnose. I do not like self-diagnosis, man. Um, just because, one, if you don't have it, then you don't have it. If you do have it, then I don't know what to tell you. Because if you don't want to help, then like, because I understand why some people don't want to help, because then it'll like doctors will give you more medication that you might not be comfortable with, or because like you get some rights taken away. Um, what is it like? Is it something like along the lines like if you have a marijuana card, you won't be able to have the rights to carry a gun because if it's for PTSD or stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know that. You guys can inform me, but like I know like certain rights get removed if you're treated with certain conditions. So
anyone wanting to become Amachchan, thinking that having these mental illnesses and problems are just a quirky trait, but fail to realize how serious they are. It's not fun struggling with any issues Amachchan has: BDP, abandonment issues, isolation. which are issues that can spiral into drug abuse, self-harm, or even delusions. I guess it can be hard to notice this because the game's portrayal of these themes can be seen as a glorification, since the whole game is depicted in this cute and girly aesthetic, which ends up downplaying some of the serious themes presented in the game. While in other types of media that explore these topics, they're usually presented in a darker tone. A common example is BoJack Horseman, with the main character suffering from the same mental disorder as Amachchan. Both characters showcase some of the same struggles, although BoJack is an anthropomorphic horse which was formerly a movie star, but now a shadow of his former self. He's depicted plenty of times at his worst throughout the show, dealing with his own substance abuse, guilt, and suicide attempts. These moments, BoJack is shown to be a mess, a completely broken person struggling from his past traumas and guilt, while Amachchan, who struggles from the same things, still looks like a cute girl during her worst moments. I feel like with the darker tone BoJack was able to present with the serious topics, it makes the message clear on how—
Yeah, like that's one of the things. Like, it's kind of with the whole yandere effect. Like, when a character is cute or whatnot, it's like, oh, I would love this character X, Y, and Z. But the character was like, you like, oh, how dare this character do this? If Mitai was not as pretty as she was, people would hate Mitai, man. They would be like, oh, Mitai, how dare Mitai do this for her? Like, but it's like that attractiveness. Like I said, it's why people are like, oh yeah, she's just like me for real, for real. But like, if you made her the Ami-chan or whatever not so attractive, you wouldn't want to be just like her for real, for real.
BoJack isn't someone you should be idolizing, but with needy streamer overload, the series themes are seen just as an aesthetic. The drugs and substances look pleasing. Some of the darkest scenes are just a bunch of visual effects people like to use for their anime movie videos, and Amachchan is a visually appealing character with a cute personality, the hyper feminine Jiraiya clothing, and the cutesy texting style. It's human nature to view typically attractive people in a positive way, which can create a justification of their questionable and harmful behavior. Along with that, we also have the men in the situation being like, guys, I can fix her.
I mean, you can say the same whenever girls see.
I can fix her is a common phrase which has been thrown around jokingly towards problematic characters in the media. Well, I think—
Bro, the coffin of Alien Lele, I hate seeing that all around. Like, I understand people like it because of the whole shock factor, but as someone who has a sibling, that grosses me out.
people are saying that as a joke. The phrase can be a reflection on some people's personal preference in romantic partners, which are people that have so many issues and problematic traits. Amachchan falls into this category as characters to fix, as the issues and personality are usually undesirable to handle in a relationship. But why be of interest in someone that's redder than the Chinese flag? Maybe it's a savior complex, a need to have control in a relationship being covered up by the generous deed of helping someone. Someone who struggles with mental health can be seen as an easy target to manipulate. It's a very case-by-case situation where people's motivations can vary. But why fix her though? She's funnier with the mental illnesses. I feel like it's a pretty common stereotype about how crazy people are hot. The reasoning comes from the sense of excitement, because imagine you have a stable relationship. It's good, but that's it. Your emotions go like a straight line.
Yeah, that's what it's the whole excitement factor. That's why some people like to talk. Like, people said they hate happy characters, like, because they're too boring. Um, and when they want to play video games, they want a more toxic character because these characters give them excitement that they're not able to normally get.
The experience you feel in a relationship pretty much stays the same. It gets boring. So this is where dating a crazy person comes in, because you get to experience all the highs and lows in a relationship. The intensity of the love they express with you is amplified, with phrases like crazy in the head, crazy in the... I can't... Oh my god. Yeah, so those phrases are thrown around, adding a sexualization towards the mentally ill people. Although the highs in the relationship come with the cost of dealing with all the problems that come with an unstable person. The usual outcomes for these type of relationships that become long-term is either the fixer gets fucked over by the broken person, since all of their problems get projected onto them, which
Or the
becomes
vice versa.
mentally exhausting trying to deal with. And now they need fixing themselves after experiencing such a toxic dynamic. Or the broken person gets even more broken, since the fixer just neglects them after realizing that the downsides aren't worth dealing with, or not as.
Yeah, you could either, what's it called, take advantage of the one that you can fix, or you can leave them, or the fixer goes with however they go. That's why I don't like the whole yandere toxic aesthetic, because it's not really cute. Like, if I was writing a story, I would make it realistic. Like, this is, but like, people would still want the let me fix him ending.
Hot as they would imagine. Or they both go through emotional breakthrough, which leads the once broken couple to live happily ever after.
Like
that's ever gonna happen.
At the end of the day, you can't fix them, and the endings of Needy Streamer Overload reflect on this, considering there aren't any good endings. All the meltdowns, along with the suicide attempts, cheating on the player, giving up on the shared goal, sound similar to the outcomes I mentioned earlier. Amachchan can't be fixed under your command. It's only when she takes control for herself, then she can start to heal, which is shown at the aforementioned secret ending, where she leaves the internet and experiences the real world herself. No more following orders by the player, no more relying on the shallow wealth of subscribers or views or money. She no longer needs to live by the validation of others, but allows herself to become independent for the first time in her life.
What's wrong with Hello Kitty? That's crazy. What's wrong with Hello Kitty? That's a crazy video title. That's insane, chat. But yeah, yeah, the mentally or the toxic character, like the mentally ill character when they're played off are like, oh, it's cute. Gives me it's a weird vibe, man. I'm not gonna even front. Yeah, what do you guys think? Comment down below.